Shout out to Cats Pawd.
A great defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Milan is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? We are back at it again, and we have a very special episode for you today. It was so special that we decided to record the episode twice. That's how special this was. Okay? Eric, who do we got with us today?
We have our tight end one from the Montana State Bobcats, Rylan Schlepp, the Vandal Killer himself. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Again.
If anybody's wondering why it's again, it's because we did this whole thing on Tuesday night, and Tuesday night, super producer Ben Christians decided to not record the audio, just video. So if you guys want a lip-reading episode, we've got a lip-reading episode for you. It's all set up. It's on deck. It's ready to go. But thanks for coming on, Rylan. It's awesome. Thank you so much for coming on twice, opening up your busy schedule for us to get on here twice in 1 week. The first reoccurring guest of the Cats Pod, Mr. Rylan Schlepp. All right, so
Okay.
You got what?
First thing, I just got to ask this real quick. Did you watch any of the first game of the NFL season tonight at all?
I was. First play.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
my first question for you is, if anybody spit on an opposing player before the game really even started, what would Vegan do?
Boom.
Home.
He'd lose it for sure.
Yeah,
He doesn't play with any of that. No fighting, nothing like that.
yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. Have you ever seen somebody? I mean, in all your levels of football, you ever seen somebody spit on somebody like that?
Yeah, so when we were playing Northern Arizona, I think in maybe 2022, when they came,
Yeah.
one of the defensive players spit on Julius Davis.
I remember that. That
yeah.
was crazy.
That was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was like right after that, there was they cut the camera to him, and he was just pissed off on the sideline, and I think I screen captured that. That was like right after we started the podcast.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that. I mean, I just can't even imagine what would compel somebody to do that
No.
at all.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, rivalry, not rivalry. I feel like it doesn't really matter. That's
There's a line to it.
yes right there.
That's a Northern Arizona move right there. No. I don't have a lot of hate for the Lumberjacks, except for the fact that they spit on Orange Julius Davis. I can't
That's a
forgive that.
for hate right there.
Yeah.
Forever hate.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. It's not awesome, but to move forward, we're going to start off with some of the normal round of questions that I always give to everybody. Who is the funniest person on the team?
I'd say Carson Williams for sure.
Carson Williams. I was listening to the Cat Chat today, and they had McMillan on there, and he said that Carson is also the best trash talker on the team. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that.
Has he ever got at you?
He's tried to, but I mean, we got mutual respect, and he knows if it's a run, I'm gonna bury him. So we got that respect, but it's more playful between me and him, not serious like how it is with some other guys.
Yeah. I imagine it's a little different for you because you do put people on their back sometimes. It's not like a normal offensive guy where you're not going to be blocking them or anything like that, or you're just half blocking them. You're like, okay, I'll get back at you.
Yeah.
I'll go back at you real quick. That's awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So who's the best dressed person on the team?
I'd say Taki U.
Taki U.
He's always got some good stuff on.
Getting the style directly from his brother, just inherited it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, so who is better dressed, Danny U or Taki U?
I'd say Taki.
Ooh.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Showing up, bro.
Danny's gonna come out with like the greatest fit of all time now. It's gonna be his number one goal this season. He's got to get it back from his brother. You can't let your little brother beat you at anything. And my little brother just walked into my house, so that just reminded me of that whole rivalry. Also, we forgot to ask you this on Tuesday. Who has the best touchdown celebration on the team?
That's a good question. We don't celebrate a whole lot, but in practice, we'll kind of get after it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say, I don't know. Chris Long has some stuff too. New transfer receiver. He's got some good moves.
He's got some things planned for later on this season. He's got
Sure.
So we can look forward to that. Some Chris Long touchdown celebrations. Do you ever have a touchdown celebration? I don't really remember you doing much. Just running across, being hyped.
Yeah, I celebrate with the boys. Yeah, we kind of live by that in the tight end room. My coach played at Iowa, so he has some strict rules, and we just celebrate with the guys.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to do it, though. Like, I get hyped up with other people. I'd rather do that than by myself anytime,
Yeah. Agreed. Celebrating with the boys got to be a pretty good feeling after you haul in a good touchdown or something.
Yeah, especially when the lineman lifts you up. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. How strong are those guys, actually?
Strong. Very strong.
Just strong.
They can move some weight in the weight room.
Yeah. I can only imagine what their bench presses look like, because they can move some bodies around.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about these new facilities. What's that like? The transformation in the last few years has been huge.
Yeah. So starting off with the BAC, it's been tremendous. We got all our stuff in there, all our nutrition, the weight room, locker room, all our meeting rooms are upstairs. The training room in the facility is very nice too. We got an underwater treadmill, hot cold tub, state of the art. And then with that new indoor being built, it's only going to help us, especially when we play, later in the season and that weather. But also for prepping, Northern Arizona, they got a dome, so we're going to practice in there that week. And then, it's just great being able to have good footing in there, get into a place that's really nice. But also, with that new addition to the end zone is going to be even better. Just looking at it today, it's going to be sweet seeing gold shirts up there this weekend.
Yeah. So how many people are going to be able to fit in there? Do you know?
I think it's a couple hundred, maybe 300.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll help. Are they still doing like the little cabana things down behind the end zone?
No, so they're putting below the seats. There's like indoor enclosed that open up, so it's now part of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah, excited to see that for sure.
You mentioned the new indoor practice facility. Can you simulate like crowd noise in there at all, or is it pretty quiet?
Oh, it's pretty quiet, but we bring a couple speakers in there and blast it, so the noise is able to stay in there. Yeah.
I feel like we got to touch on one thing you said in that athletic center, because you guys were both acting like this is just a normal thing, but you said underwater treadmill.
I did say that.
Is that just a normal, like everybody's, you just said it like you just rolled it off the shoulder like it was no big deal. I'm like, that's insane. Just the idea of an underwater treadmill to me. I'm thinking about like Avatar Way of Water. You're just under there,
Well, generally you don't throw electronics into water, right?
Generally. It's not recommended,
Unless you're a Vikings fan and toaster baths are just normal.
That's just Tuesday. We call that Tuesday.
Yeah. So what you got to explain an underwater treadmill to Ben. He's fascinated.
I can't. Like, what do you do on an underwater treadmill? Do you run? Like, is it a rehab thing?
Yeah, so it's like a rehab thing. You start on this platform, and then it'll drop you down, depending how tall you are. And for me, like the water will go up to like my chest, and then in there they can control the speed, walk, jog, run in there, but as well as like lateral movements. So it's really good for like lower body injuries. Like I've had an ankle issue, and I've gone in there and done the underwater treadmill, and it's been really beneficial.
Yeah. I feel like it would feel pretty natural for an actual athlete like yourself, But if you put me on an underwater treadmill, you know how awkward everyone looks when they're trying to walk through the water, like getting up onto the shore or something like that? It would just be like that. I'd be falling into the sides. Like the water would be pushing me back. I'd be like, I would be a mess. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. That'd be pure comedy, honestly.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I can only imagine what Ben would look like on an underwater treadmill. we can do one thing at a time. You know, we can treadmill or we can walk in the water, but put those two together, it's going to be problems.
Don't even try to ask me a question at the same time. If I have to talk and walk underwater in the treadmill, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. It's not happening.
Yeah. Rylan, give us your opinion on the best tight end in the NFL. Who is it?
George Kittle.
Ooh, I like that. Except for I absolutely despise Iowa. Sorry. So
George Kittle by far. He does everything.
Yeah.
He has top 5 personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, he so my tight end coach actually played with him, and we're good buddies. So sometimes he has some stories of George that are funny.
I bet there's some great stories from back in the day with him.
Yeah.
That's got to be top tier. Is that somebody that you model your game after? Somebody you try and play like?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to be able to do everything, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's coming back in the tight end position. I mean, we kind of strayed away more like receiver types, but you always need a blocking and receiving tight end at the same time, and why not be the same person?
There was definitely that era where it was like kind of when Jimmy Graham was really good, where it was these are just tall basketball playing wide receivers. Like that was the only difference. And now it's like tight ends are kind of back to being actual football guys again, which is good to see.
Speaking of tight ends, where do you stand on the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift engagement? Is that good or bad for tight ends?
I mean, good for them, but I'm tired of seeing her on TV when I'm trying to watch a football game.
Yeah.
And, we now have the Swifties' #1 target on the show right now.
Oh no, watch out. They're coming. They're coming in hot. It's going to be trouble for Rylan. I'm sorry. You know, we might not get to have you on a third time. You know?
Let's do a quick audio check here. Are we good?
Audio check. 1 2 1 2. Yeah, we got good levels. All right.
Oh, I like it. I like it. What can you just like run us through? What does a normal day look for you during football season? Like in the middle of the season, like with classes and everything. How in the world do you cram everything in?
Yeah, so we kind of changed our schedule a little bit, but typically, like today, I was up at 5:45. That's when the training room opened. Got in there around 5:55. Did all the stuff I needed to do, and then typically we'll have position meetings before practice for about 30 minutes, and then we're usually taking the field by 7:15. And then from there, we got a 2-hour practice, and then after that, we have about, depending on what lift group you're in, I'm on a Monday, Wednesday lift group, so I have about 20 minutes to eat the breakfast that they provide us, and then I'm straight into lift for about an hour. So then about 11:30, I end up going to class, and usually I have 2 classes, try to fit in, food as well as in there. And then we got to come back for meetings at, 5 to usually 6:30 at night.
Yeah. God bless America. How does that just work? It seems like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's what we signed up for if you want to play Division I football, and especially at a program like MSU where you're trying to be a national champion, and all the success we've had, especially in the Big Sky. It's definitely a sacrifice for sure, but you got to love it.
Yeah, that's super fair. They do call MSU the Harvard of the North, or at least I.
I was like, who is this hypothetical person calling it Harvard of the North? I was like, none of that. All this was about football. I was like, I didn't hear a lot about academics. He did throw it in there. He did say he does go to class, you know, which is good. We'd like to see that.
That's why it's so impressive, Ben. He's getting a degree from the Harvard of the North while playing Division I football at the best school in Montana.
Yeah. Now that Ivy League teams are included in FCS and can vie for a championship, are you afraid of the Ivy League?
Not one bit.
Not one bit.
That's the right answer.
I was gonna say if you were like yeah, we kind of respect him a little bit, I would have lost a little bit of respect for you. You know.
That is a wild schedule, though. I mean, there's most college students usually aren't waking up from their hangover until like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you're first in the door at 5:45 in the morning. Like, that's pretty damn respectable. Whether you have like the passion for football or not, just the fact that you're getting up at 5:45 practice or whatever is actually pretty impressive. There's not very many people that can actually do that.
Yeah,
So,
it definitely, as the season progresses, it gets old, but that's why you got your teammates.
So.
yeah.
And at least you guys know that you're actually working towards something. Like, there's a common goal. Everybody's on the same page. That stuff makes it a lot easier to show up.
Yep.
When did you know that you wanted to pursue college football? When was that?
I'd say ever since I was little, but realistically, probably going into my sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
And so, like, who influenced you the most on the way? Like, can you point out like one specific person that kind of steered you that direction, or somebody you tried or you wanted to be like, or anything like that, or is this just a personal mission?
I'd say more of a personal mission. I'm kind of one of the only members of my family that ever played college sports, so it was cool. And I just wanted to continue to play football wherever that was. And at the end of the day, I wasn't ready to give it up. And I had some good high school coaches that played for the Cats and stuff like that. And I also wanted to play in the brawl. I always grew up watching that ever since I can remember, just watching that one game in November and just being able to be a part of that, and hopefully have your legacy remembered is something I always wanted to do.
Has it lived up to expectations? Yeah.
Last year was good for you.
Great for me.
Great for you. Yeah. What's your favorite moment as a Bobcat? Is it that brawl, or is there something else?
I'd say the brawl, probably number one.
Yeah.
That's just a different game.
Mm-hmm.
But as well as the win in New Mexico last year, being down, crawling back, and putting that one away at the last 10 seconds, really.
Yeah.
That was a fun memory, and that definitely projected our season because we knew that we could be something special.
Yeah. So speaking of New Mexico, that was a top 5 game for me across all professional sports and college. That was absolutely nuts. But one of the funnest things was they served beer in the stands. How much sway do you think you have to get some beer in the stands for us in the next coming years?
Not much, but I wish I could for you guys.
I was like, I don't even think he could sign a petition if we put out a petition. I think that would be in violation of some rule that Vegan has,
Well, it was worth a shot, Ben. You know anyone else to ask?
I don't know anybody else to ask. Come on. I'm not trying to make solutions here. That's not for me. I do. It is always funny when I go to the beer gardens at the games and I just go chug a beer so that I can go back to my seat in the stands. It's like, I just paid $9 for this thing and I'm just going to throw it back as fast as I possibly can because the game's about to start.
Can't miss it. So, you talked a little bit about the brawl, but that aside, we had New Mexico and the brawl kind of bookending the season. Was there another game that really leapt out to you as kind of the other one that was really fun last year?
I'd definitely say the second Idaho game on ESPN, the night game.
Yeah.
That was amazing to be a part of that, and playoffs can't get much bigger than that, and you're playing a team in your conference, and
yeah, to beat them twice by the margin you guys did was very impressive, considering there was a lot of talk before that one from everybody, not just Idaho fans, but everybody was, oh, it's a get you game. Oh, we're healthy. Oh, excuse this, excuse that about the first one, and then you just punched him in the mouth. Yeah, that was cool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, getting more into this season, you guys took a little trip down to Oregon. How does a game like that start the season off? How does a game like that help you more than like playing some cupcake D2 team or something?
I think it helps out a lot going into Eugene and playing a national contender and for the championship in the FBS. We knew it was going to be a really tough game, but you get to play against guys that are going to be playing in the NFL. I think that whole D line will. So definitely the speed of the game is a little different at that level than say playing a bad D2 team. So taking that into a game like what we have this week, I think it just prepared us more.
Yeah.
So you like testing yourself against the best of the best, you would say does more than like maybe, going out there and dropping a 60 burger on a nobody.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to point that out
I wonder who you're talking about, Eric.
Yeah.
I have no idea what team may have been playing what may have been a high school team last week, but there was somebody.
I think their school rhymes with Shitadel.
Yeah, could be them. Growing up in Montana and then getting to play for the Cats, is there any disadvantages to that, or is it just all advantages?
I'd say it's all advantages,
Yeah.
but I mean, my mom lives up in Kalispell, so that's go right through Missoula when I go home, and that's in the heart of Grizz country. So I'd say definitely, like when we lost and that one year and trying to go back home, I remember pulling into the gas station in Missoula to get gas and just getting heckled and stuff, but I love that stuff.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't add any fuel to your fire, does it?
No. Just a little bit.
Yep, doesn't get you excited for the brawl, which nobody even needs any bulletin board material to get excited for the brawl, and then they just give it to you for free. Free motivation right there.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of bouncing all over here, but we said fuel to the fire. Does being an underdog to South Dakota State fuel the locker room just a little bit? I feel like it has to.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, we don't really get in too much into the rankings or the underdog or stuff like that. We just got to go out there and execute our job to the best of our ability and play fast and physical football. But playing at home and them knowing our home crowd and knowing that we're a good team, it is a little bit of a jab, but that is a little bit fuel to the fire. But at the end of the day, none of that matters if we don't execute.
I'm gonna add a little more. It's the first time you guys haven't been first time you guys have been an underdog since like 2021 at home.
Yeah,
that's insanity.
Yeah,
insanity. And on top of that, could you get into like you brought up the home crowd? What was the home crowd at Montana State compared to the home crowd in Eugene?
I'd say, going into Eugene, they seat, I don't know how many thousands of people, a lot more than we do, but I was expecting it to be loud. We practice for noise all week. And then when we get there, the stands were packed, but they didn't really have that fire and that desire that our fans have, kind of that care.
Mm-hmm.
And our fans, there's a lot less of them, but they're loud and they're proud to be Bobcat fans. And I think that's a big difference, when you go from FCS to FBS, the fans.
Well, this home field advantage this week, I think, I don't know that I've ever seen a Gold Rush where it's this hard to find tickets.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a box there, so we got tickets, but I was just looking for some friends. I mean, those things, if they do pop up, which they're not popping up very often, are selling within minutes. I mean, people are wanting to go to this game. It's going to be an absolute madhouse. And there probably isn't going to be any beverages consumed before, I think it's a 6 p.m. kickoff.
Yeah.
So it's going to be quiet in there.
definitely going to be dry, very dry in there. I know that. Yeah.
I was talking to someone in one of my classes, and they're asking for if anyone knew they had tickets, and apparently the student tickets sold out in I think 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's
That's
crazy.
changed from when I went to college there. It was never a problem to get a student ticket, even late. Like right before the game, you could still get one. And the student section was, full-ish, but never like it is now. And those were good days still. Those were the D. McGee days. Those were good football teams in the playoffs every year. But it's not like this. I've never seen anything quite like what these last few years of Bobcat teams have, kind of inspired with the fan base.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's gonna be noisy in there on Saturday. Who's who would you say are the kind of the players to watch on South Dakota State for the the average listener who doesn't follow them at all? Who are their studs?
Well, I don't know a whole lot about the offense, but I think they got a good quarterback from what I hear. He's good with his legs, strong quarterback, can make good throws. Defensively, I think they got a good D line. Number 8 is one of their defensive ends. He's a good player, physical. All of them are physical. I think 94, their interior guy, is probably the best one out of the entire D line. I think in the back end, they're pretty solid as well. They got linebackers that fly around, but they also got a nickel, number 28, that I remember watching a clip against Sac State, their last game, and he was coming off the edge, hurdled the running back who was standing, fell on his face, and ended up sacking the quarterback. So that was one of the most crazy plays I've seen. But overall, it's South Dakota State. They play fast, they play physical, and the game's going to be won at the line of scrimmage. So I'm excited for the matchup.
Yeah. Was that play you just mentioned by that guy, that nickel or whatever, was it as cool as Caden Dowler sidestepping that guy and getting the tackle on the running back against Oregon? Because that was cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it is because Caden's was way more smooth. And, the guy, yeah, it's pretty sweet. Hurdling someone, I can't say I've ever done that, but, it wasn't as smooth. And Caden Dowler's my boy, too. And that was a great play he made.
You also got to look at the quality of the guy that Caden had to take down in that situation. It wasn't some random guy on Sac State.
Who's that, Ben? Who did?
Oh, sorry, my bad. Suck State. I forgot.
Them. Yes.
I forgot. Eric doesn't know who I'm talking about unless I call them by their real name. That's my bad.
Yeah.
All these nicknames. I'm weird with the nicknames.
Yeah. Going back to the Oregon game, we had a bit of an offensive line reshuffle. Tell us a little bit about this Braden Zimmer.
Yeah, he's a young player, but he's very athletic, and he's from Billings in Montana, so he's a tough kid. He's smart when it comes to X's and O's as well, which is kind of rare for a young guy, let alone start your first ever game against Oregon.
Yeah,
it was great. I think he held his own. Obviously, they had some freaks on that D line that were tough to deal with, but he's a guy that works hard, and he's gonna continue to improve. I'm sure he's improved a lot from the first game to now, South Dakota State.
Yeah, that was I thought that was a dang respectable performance by him. And like you said, your first ever start against Oregon, and I didn't get to watch a ton, listen to most, but what I saw is he didn't seem to get the jitters, and I feel like that's the most important thing for a super young player like him, is to just be able to walk out there, execute, and do his job without making major mistakes. And I just thought that was pretty dang impressive.
Yeah, that's credit to him, and I think that's credit how we practice too. We double rep during fall camp, so everyone's between two team sets. Usually we're getting around 60, 70 plays a day. So the repetition and just knowing what we're doing helps a lot.
Yeah, that's a credit to this had a lot of offensive line coaches in there, but it never seems to be a bad one. They've been so good year in and year out. Most of them are working at FBS programs now, I think. So, yeah, I mean, credit to Vegan and the way he puts a coaching staff together. I mean, what's it like, playing for Vegan? He seems like such a calm, cool, and collected guy. What's like a normal interaction with Coach Vegan?
I mean, I think you said it best. He's calm, cool, and collected. It's he's never too high, never too low, and just normal conversation with Coach Vegan is a pretty quick one, but he cares for his players. Always asks how you're doing and how's your day, stuff like that. And it's great, but also on the football field when we flip it on, obviously he's very smart. He knows everything about everything, and he'll always coach guys up, even though he's not necessarily a position coach or offensive coordinator, but he's always just trying to get the best out of his players, and he knows how to get that.
If Coach Vegan had a favorite Gatorade shower, what color would it be?
I'm gonna go blue because I think that was the one when we beat South Dakota in the playoffs last year, semis.
No.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good
Pretty
Gatorade
close,
shower.
pretty close. Does anybody make fun of the plaid suits that Coach Vegan wears?
Nope.
No, nobody's even going to touch that.
No one's gonna even say anything about it.
I love the suits personally. That's the kind of style that I would love to have one day when I'm an adult like Coach Vegan. But, it takes a strong man to pull off that suit jacket. It takes a strong man.
I bet he can give a good ass chewing too.
You can.
Yeah, I figured. He seems like a guy that could give out a strong ass chew, and he seems like a guy that should have the first name like Dean or something like that. I only said that because that's my dad's name.
It's kind of an inside joke because both of our dads' names are Dean.
Yeah, both of our.
But yeah, he also, tell me if I'm wrong, but he seems like the kind of guy that can really get under your skin and gives you like the quiet ass chewing. Like he's going after you, but it's like quiet and it really gets at the thing that you're worried about the most.
No, when he gives a chew, and it's pretty vocal and loud.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of coaches you need. You need somebody who's going to get after you when you're not quite getting her done. I like that.
For sure.
But also gives the most perfect press conference. He might be the best speaker I've ever seen in my life. Potentially.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we're big Vegan fans, so
yep.
Very, very happy with that. Next thing, Gold Rush. Is this the best Gold Rush game ever?
I think it is. I don't think we've had, typically it's like, not a great opponent, but when you're playing when we're both top 3 ranked teams in the country, it's starting off the gate at home. It's definitely by far the best one I've seen in a long time.
Oh yeah. It's a little better than the main game we had last year, and definitely was it Mercyhurst the year before or something like that?
Utah Tech, I think.
Utah Tech, that's right. Yep, you're right. Yeah. So there's no doubt that it's the best game, and I can't wait to be there. This is my first solo game without Ben for Gold Rush in a hot minute.
It's been a while. It's the first time I'm going to be homebound for Gold Rush. It's not a great feeling, but also I'll get to enjoy the game from home. It's never the same as when you're in the stands and in the tailgates and everything like that. I'm going to miss that for sure. But having a baby girl's worth it for sure.
Yeah. Look at you, super dad.
Just grow. I'm trying to grow up. I'm trying to be more like Vegan every day. That's the thing. Just a little bit more like Vegan every day.
Before we get into our picks here, I had one final question for you, and that is, if you had to give me a dark horse on the team, somebody that nobody talks enough about, maybe is buried on the 2 deep or something like that, but somebody that has crazy potential that everyone might be talking about by the end of the year, who would that be? Or multiples, if there's more than one that comes to mind.
I'd say Jacob Trimble, receiver. I mean, he's played in games, but he's a dog, and he's a great receiver as well. So I expect him to make a ton of big plays this season.
Yeah.
That's awesome because Ben also picked him as his dark horse.
Yeah, I was like, this guy doesn't get a lot of respect, but every time he came in the games, last year and the year before, I believe, is he a senior this year? I think he's
No, he's a sophomore, I think.
No way. It feels like he's been there forever. But every time he gets on the field, he just makes the correct play. And he's got good hands, and he seems like he's always in a good spot to get the ball. I'm just always like, he could get a couple more touches. He could get a couple more reps out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
My pick for dark horse was Jabez Woods.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. See, that's good too.
Yeah. Are you hurt because he picked the same one as me? Is this affecting you deeply?
You got to pick first, so
that's true. But you weren't even going to pick him, so
Yeah, I was going Jabez Woods the whole time. The kid seems like a stud.
Yeah,
he
does seem like a stud for sure. It's a whole roster full of studs, so there's really not a bad pick on the board. Like if you're trying to pick somebody who's underrated on this team, we usually rate everybody way too high.
Yeah.
So I think I said last week, last week I said I wouldn't trade Adam Jones or Julius Davis for Saquon Barkley. So I think that we're a little bit biased, just a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of Adam Jones and Julius Davis, do you think Neil Daly will hit Ben for Ben to become an honorary member of the Juice Squad? Full on hit.
I don't know.
I'll sign a waiver, okay? Rylan, I'll sign a waiver. All right? Like whatever it takes for me to be a member of the Juice Squad. I just want a piece of paper. I want a piece of paper with everybody in the Juice Squad to sign it. That's all I want. That's all I need.
And you can put quotations around honorary, and actually maybe we should change it just a little bit to maybe not just Neil Daly, but anyone the Juice Squad recommends to hit Ben.
I like that. That's good.
I don't like that because then they're going to call up, like, if this becomes a group effort, I feel like they're going to get, like, Alex Singleton or something to come hit me. They're going to get Troy Anderson to hit me.
Yeah.
Troy Anderson hits me. I don't know if I survive.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Oh, this is one thing we love is tangents, and we do like hurting Ben at times.
At times,
so. We used to do on the previous seasons. We used to do Ben does a shotgun for every turnover. Every turnover the defense got, Ben would shotgun a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we could do that at home.
Well, it started out that I was going to do a shotgun every time we turned the ball over, and then we just didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
So it was like I never did any shotguns, and we were like, okay, we got to change this bet every time we get a turnover ourselves.
Thank God Ben lives for the bit.
Yeah, I definitely overcommit to things like that. It's a problem.
Should we get into some picks helped by our good friend Rylan Schlepp?
I think so.
I'm game.
Yeah. First up, on a Friday night, we have Eastern Washington at Boise State. Rylan?
I'm going Boise State on this one coming up.
Eastern Washington.
I'm going Boise State after they came off that loss last week and going to let some stuff out. And they also got some Montana State ties there as well.
Yes, good point. We do like to follow our Montana State ties. Ben, do you have any arguments against that?
Eastern Washington still does not have a guy named Efton Chisholm, right?
No.
He's still gone? Yeah, I think Boise State's going to win. I think so.
That's 3 on that one. Next up, we have Idaho State going to visit one of our old friends, Scott Trey Humphrey and the New Mexico Lobos.
I'm going New Mexico.
Lobos on that one.
Does Scott Trey rush for 200?
I'd give him 175.
175.
175. If Scott Trey rushes for 175, they beat Idaho State by a lot of points.
Yeah.
That might be a shutout kind of game, because if he's running the ball that much, then the clock's going away fast. So it's not going to be a long game. But I have become kind of a little miniature fan of Idaho State over the last few years, just because they seem kind of scrappy and like they're trying to do something. They're not there yet, but they're trying to do something. And New Mexico just seems like they've gotten stronger since last year. Their program is coming together. New Mexico probably runs away with this one.
Yeah, it definitely seems like New Mexico is going to thump them. It takes a real special FCS team to beat New Mexico at home.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Does that remind you of anybody?
Last weekend, just quick tangent, okay? It just reminded me, because I was sitting there watching the Oregon game, and we went down 17-0, and I looked at my wife, and I went, we were down 17-0 last year. I was like, it could all change from here.
That's super fair. That is actually super fair. Yeah. Okay, I got to go a little sidebar here on the Big Sky, just because I actually legitimately hate these teams. I think you know where I'm going here. I'm trying to find who North Dakota State plays. It's apparently a nobody.
Oh, I can't remember who it was. They're definitely on the Grizz schedule for sure.
Oh man. Okay, North Dakota State, Tennessee State. We're gonna need your help on that one, because is Tennessee State the team that Eddie George used to coach?
Yeah. I'm going North Dakota State.
Oh, weak.
They no longer have a guy coaching named Eddie George over there, so I would have to agree with Rylan and say that North Dakota State would probably win this game.
You're also weak.
Yeah.
I'm going with Tennessee State pulls the upset.
Okay.
I just had to get it out there. Had to get it out.
The same way I have to pick Northern Colorado every week, you have to pick against North Dakota State every week, so it just makes sense.
St. Thomas,
Minnesota.
St. Thomas, Minnesota. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I was reading that right.
Yep.
At Idaho.
I'm going Idaho, the way they played against Washington State last week. I think they held them to 3 rushing yards the entire game. So I'm going to go with Idaho State in this one.
I don't know how Idaho looks as strong as they do early in the season. It seems like every single year. And it doesn't matter like how much coaching turnover they have, how many players they have out, but they always look really solid at the beginning of the year. And then they almost decline throughout the season. It's like it's a weird inverse football thing that goes on with Idaho. So I'd have to agree with you. St. Thomas, Minnesota sounds like a high school team as well. So I think that Idaho should be able to win that game.
Well, St. Thomas, Minnesota is 1-0 and Idaho is 0-1.
Oh, shoot. I forgot all about that. I'll just change my mind real quick, Eric, you know?
No, that's 3-0. Idaho wins.
Yeah.
Suck State at Nevada. Coach Choate. Can he get Suck State out of here?
Yeah, Nevada's going to win this one. I feel like they're going to win it big too.
I agree. I haven't even agreed more with what you said until right there. Sac State's going to get destroyed.
I feel like at some point during this season, the Sac State bit is going to get just mean. Because last week, they did not look good at all. I think all season long, they're going to continue to not look very good. And it just kind of feels like piling on and kicking somebody when they're down to make fun of Sac State anymore. So, I'm not going to pick them, but I thought about it. I thought about the pity pick for Sacramento State because sometimes that's even worse than me picking against them. But Nevada would win this game for sure.
If their directors of the college didn't talk a bunch of smack and then not be able to back it up, they would be a lot more tolerable. But that isn't the case.
Yeah.
They literally said if they don't get their FBS bid, the FCS better watch out, and then they lost their first game in the FCS. It doesn't bode well for Sauk State.
Oh.
Yeah, that's another one. 3-0 Nevada. Next up, Utah Tech at Northern Arizona.
I'm not too sure on this one. I'm going to go Northern Arizona because they're playing at home.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, last week, Utah Tech hung in there with Davis till the very end. So,
yeah,
I'm not too sure, but I'm going to go Northern Arizona in a close one.
Yeah.
I like that pick. That's the same way I'd go, too.
Mm-hmm.
Utah Tech doesn't look quite as bad as they have the last couple of years. I think they've gotten steadily better.
Yeah, Utah Tech's definitely building something over there. I always feel like the Lumberjacks are underrated a little bit, though. They play scrappy, hard-nosed football over there, and they're one of those teams that I feel like can upset random teams all the time. And this is an even matchup. It's not like they would be upsetting anybody in this situation, but the home field is definitely the kicker on this one. So
yeah,
Northern Arizona wins that.
Northern Arizona almost beat the Grizzlies with a backup quarterback last year. Like,
Yeah.
they're a legit football team.
Yeah.
Next up, and this is going to be a barn burner. I'm here to tell you.
Watch out. Watch out. Tune in.
Cal Poly at number 25, Utah. Ooh, we got a good one on schedule here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Utah Utes.
Yeah.
Utah Utes. Yeah, they win that game. There's not really even that much to talk about there. I don't know anything about Cal Poly, if I'm being real honest. They have not been on my radar whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cal Poly is going to be absolutely dreadful this year, and I'm pretty sure Utah is going to be fairly competitive in the Big 12. So, yeah, there's another one. 3-0.
Yep.
Okay, Ben. Ben, you're up first on this one.
Here we go.
Right.
My boys are coming off a hot week, okay? The Northern Colorado Bears are 1-0. They're undefeated as the season sits right now, and they will be going into Fort Collins, Colorado. This is a 5 p.m. kickoff. You can get tickets as low as $55. Northern Colorado keeps it rolling, baby. They win one more, 2-0, shock the world. Watch out, the Bears are coming.
You agree, Rylan?
I don't think they're going to get it done. I think it'll be a pretty close game, actually, but Colorado State's got the upper hand in this one.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure Colorado State's going to win by 40. Sorry, man.
I don't know, man. This fake fanhood is I'm really deep into it now, so somebody's got to cheer for Northern Colorado.
Yeah, they're one fan, and it is kind of a fake fan. He's just doing it out of pity.
They still haven't invited me onto the Bear Down podcast.
It's crazy.
I'm like, it's wild. I'm the biggest Northern Colorado fan outside of Colorado, and they will not give me any time. They won't give me the time of day. Yeah.
We're gonna have to start cutting these episodes and sending it directly to the Bear Down podcast.
Yeah. Just the picks. Just a master mashup of all the picks.
You're always real sure to make sure everybody knows how much they can get into a Northern Colorado game.
It's the only thing that's on ESPN's screen. It's all the information that I have on the game. I literally just read it off.
You know, when it's at Northern Colorado, they probably say the ticket price, sunny, and smells like cow crap.
Yeah. Sunny with a chance of manure today here in Northern Colorado.
Next up, we're going to get another look at the team that's going to make me and Ben's dreams come true. Portland State going to UND, North Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
UND in this one. Well, they played against Kansas State, and they're a physical team, and I I don't know if they can hang with them. North Dakota by quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that pick. North Dakota is a lot better than I think people gave them credit for.
Yeah.
They're a good team.
I mean, they look good.
Mm-hmm. We talked about this last week. I'm not getting sucked in. They always look really good at the beginning of the season. And then I don't know what happens to them. I always want them to do well too. My brother-in-law went to school there, and I'm like, I wouldn't be mad at it if North Dakota State was getting beat by UND all the time, but I just can't believe in it. At the same time, they're definitely going to beat Portland State.
Maybe
They don't have Dante Sacheret anymore, so they're definitely going to beat them.
Okay, Rylan, sidebar, quick little thing. Which name is cooler, Dante Sacheret or Titan Fleshman?
Titan Fleshman.
Yeah, easily.
Mhm.
Easy. It's such a cool name. It just sounds like a really tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
He is. He's really tough. He's been through a lot.
The Titan.
Also, another sidebar on the sidebar. What does UND look like going into Washington Grizzly?
I was talking about this game with someone today. I think it's going to be tough for Montana. I think UND is a really good team, and Montana lost a lot of people, but they are playing in Wagriz, so anyone can lose there. But I think it looks good for UND. It's definitely going to be a really close game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And so that brings us nicely into the next game. Central Washington. I'm guessing that's like a 5A high school, maybe 6A. I'm not really sure. Going to Washington Grizzly, but Central Washington is 1-0.
Central Washington.
I love it. We love it. We love it. We love it. Here is how small Central Washington is. They do not even have a link on ESPN. I'm pretty sure all you need to do is have a roster, and you can put up a page on ESPN for your football team. And they have a blank link. You can't even look at any stats or anything for Central Washington from ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Ben, could you find a mascot? That's the real question.
It looks like a bear, but it's way too small. It's way too small of a logo for me to be able to decipher that right now.
Is it like a panda? Real cute and cuddly?
It's like a wildcat, I want to say. They got a wildcat going on over there in Central Washington. I thought these guys were Class AA high school, but it turns out they are Division II. I was corrected earlier today by a Grizz fan.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's how they do it. They start week 1 as high school. Week 2, they actually play college team. Week 3, it's Division 1. Okay, that's how it works. They got to wean their way into the season.
I just can't imagine wanting to schedule a Division 2 because this does nothing for a playoff. I mean, when we get down to the playoffs and all these things start coming out and they start talking about resumes, it's a big talk all year long. And if you don't blow Central Washington out by 50 points, it looks bad, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
You're a football player, Rylan. I mean, how does that kind of thing work?
I think it has huge implications down the road. I mean, if you don't beat an opponent out like that, especially at home, you play against the best teams in the Big Sky and the Missouri Valley, and they're nowhere near that level of opponent. I think it definitely plays into a factor, later in the fall once playoffs are getting rolled up.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Weber State at Arizona.
I'm going Arizona in this one.
Yeah. Arizona's probably pretty safe in that one. I don't see much. Just so you know, you can get tickets as low as $11 on this one, Eric.
Wow.
$11.
Yeah. Probably standard standing room only. It costs like $130 for standing room only at a Cat game.
Those are ticket prices at South Dakota State, not Arizona.
Yeah. 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 Weber State may be good. Not really sure on them. They're kind of an up and down team, but Arizona's a pretty safe pick. Next up, UC Davis at Washington. I feel like this could actually be a good game.
Yeah, I think it could be too. Because who did Washington play last week? I remember watching a little bit of that game.
I can't remember exactly who it was. They played against Colorado State, 138-21.
Yeah. I'm going Washington by 17-21.
Okay. You were confident in this one. We haven't gotten a score on any of the other ones. You're like, I know on this one. You're like, I got this game.
I mean, I feel like that's a really fair score because, Washington beat an FBS school by that margin, and UC Davis is an upper-end FCS school. I feel like that's probably pretty safe. I mean, I feel like UC Davis, Colorado State are probably close to the same-ish. Of course, it's a little different, but I like that pick. I'll roll with Rylan on that one.
Yeah. I think Washington wins this game, but UC Davis is going to put up a decent fight. Like they're not going to get disrespected in this game for sure.
No, they're too good to get disrespected.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just looking through the other slate of games. Iowa State, Iowa. Give it to me.
I'm going Iowa State.
Yeah.
What? Going against your coach?
If my coach listens to this.
Oh, no. Rylan is not going to get any snaps this weekend. It's sad.
I'm going Iowa State. I like their quarterback a lot. I think they play good against, Kansas State. They also play with a lot of tight ends in their sets. So I'm going Iowa State over Iowa.
Yeah. I like it. Iowa State is the new WRU, but only to the Houston Texans. That's it.
I barely understand the words that just came out of your mouth.
Houston drafted two wide receivers from Iowa State. So.
Oh, okay. WRU is wide receiver U. Okay, I was like, what are you talking about? What's WRU?
I was a little confused too. I was like,
oh, come on. Acronym that just made sense in my head.
I'm sure. That was a visual thing that you just spoke out there.
I mean, everybody. I feel like everybody that listens know I'm just a dumb rancher from the North Country. So
yeah, I mean, I don't even record the audio on half of our podcasts, so we're in good company here.
The only other game I'm seeing here even worth mentioning is number 15 Michigan and number 18 Oklahoma. Any opinion?
I'm going Oklahoma in this one.
I like it. I'll roll with you.
I agree. I haven't paid attention to FBS in so long. It's like I barely know anything about any of these teams.
Well, that's the slate of games. It should be a pretty fun weekend in FCS football. Yep. Because the only good game is our game.
Mm-hmm. Everybody better tune in. Better be ready. Better be ready for a show this weekend.
Yep. Got anything else?
No, I think I'm good. Thank you, Rylan, for coming on. We appreciate it a lot, especially being flexible with your schedule and everything. It means a ton, and it speaks to the type of person that you are to be able to do that for us and stuff. It means a lot. So thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. It's been great.
All right. If that seems like it's just about it, so we will let everyone go. Go ahead and follow us on X or Instagram at CatsPod. Go ahead and follow us on YouTube at The CatsPod. Make sure you rate us 5 stars wherever you are listening to this at, and we will catch you guys on Saturday after another glorious Catterday. Have a good one.
Adios.
Yep.